And so now it is officially my privilege and my pleasure to say, good morning, beautiful people. I am Reverend Vicky G, your minister for Louisville Center for Spiritual Living Teaching Chapter. I welcome you here on this lovely Sunday, September the 15th. We welcome all paths to God. We welcome your questions. All pieces and paths of spirit are essential to the universal puzzle in a world that works for everyone. Whether you are here with us for the first time today, or if you happen to be watching us on YouTube, thank you for being with us because you are why we are here. This morning, our entire service, which is titled Om Shanti, is dedicated to peace, experiencing and expressing personal peace, establishing peace by recognizing and experiencing our oneness with others, and especially understanding a little bit more actually how that happens. We talk a lot about oneness, we talk a lot about unity, we talk a lot about peace, but so often there is a little bit of a gap between knowing that in spirit and actually how we put that fourth tire on the pavement and have that experience in form. So that is what this entire service today is about. And the 21st of September is actually designated as the International Day of Peace around the world. This year is the 25th anniversary. It was a United Nations designation. In General Assembly, they declared the 21st of September as a day devoted to strengthening the ideals of peace through observing 24 hours of nonviolence and ceasefire around the world. Now, I haven't actually been able to go in and verify that they plan on doing that around the world, but I'm sure, because it is out there, that the 21st of September is this particular day. So I just wanted to name that on their behalf and add our consciousness to that intention. And of course, what is possible to be done in one day is possible to be done every day. It's just about deciding that that's what we're going to do individually and collectively. And so now, with that in mind, we'll be talking about that some today, and then we'll talk about it a little bit more next Sunday, because next Sunday is, of course, the day right after that. And so just know that this entire week is an International Week of Peace. And as we move to take all of this into opening prayer, we begin by setting our intentions. I invite you to take a moment, take that breath, create some space for yourself, check in and see if you're really comfortable for about the next hour. See what brought you to be with us today. And our shared intention is to open our minds and our hearts and our souls together into deeply felt peace, to learn more about how we can possibly establish that peace in living oneness and unity in the world in diverse multiplicity at the same time. And so we take another pausing breath and enter into the opportunity for opening prayer, which we open with thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Mother, Father, God, for the gift of life, for the gift of this opportunity, and in this recognition that there is one. There is one life, one love, one law, from which all of this emerges eternally and everlastingly, forming and informing from one state to the next, and we are along for the ride. And this day, we are along for that ride together. And so I do declare this time open as a designation to peace and dynamic peace, to show us the way to how to do this. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God. I release it, I let it be, and so it is. And this brings us into our opening song for this month, which is You Are the Light by Miss Denise Rosier.
You'll change dust into gardens, pieces into peace, tears into fountains, chains into release. You are doubt into action, vision renewed, perfect creation, unfolding in view. You hold all of heaven inside you. No matter what you go through, and if your dreams burn down to ashes, you rise again. You are the light of God, the power of prayer lifted up. Every breath testifies you are the light. You are the light. You are the light. You hold all of heaven inside you. No matter what you go through, and if your dreams burn down to ashes, rise again. You are the light of God, the power of prayer lifted up. Every breath testifies you are the light. You are the light. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. You are the light of God, the power of prayer lifted up. Every breath testifies you are the light. You are the light. You are the light. You are the light. Dust into gardens, pieces into peace.
That is so exciting to me. I don't know if y'all have been noticing, but we're starting to sing together with the songs. So those of you who are finding your voice, just imagine we are actually singing in the same room. How exciting is that? And so on that note of vitality and excitement, our mission and vision are fulfilled. The mission of Louisville Center for Spiritual Living Teaching Chapter is to teach personal transformation as a virtual community, living the principles of science of mind and celebrating all paths to God, which manifests our vision of a world that honors and respects all people. And of course, each week we know that this is only as good as can actually be applied. So we have an application of what we believe every week. And this week, our application is: just as there cannot be a green forest without green trees, there cannot be a peaceful world without peaceful individuals. That is by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. And this brings us to our sacred reading and meditation with our practitioner of the week, Miss Katrina Doro.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Vicky. So for this week, I was really inspired by the Science of Mind magazine. And so the reading will be from the Science of Mind magazine today. How do we become an instrument of peace? It's easy to be overwhelmed by the need, immobilized by the scope. But remember, none of us is responsible for holding it all. Our small contribution can make a big difference in the part of the world within our reach. If we all take small steps towards the more compassionate world, together we create a wave of peace. Peace on earth begins with peace in our hearts. Use your daily spiritual practice to nourish your soul and locate the coordinates of the calm center within. From your calm center, use the power of prayer to send out radiant light to the planet and to all suffering beings. From your calm center, use the power of your word to uplift and empower, to build up and bring together. From your calm center, use the power of your actions to show up, volunteer, donate, organize, join a cause. Love, peace, and prayer are not the stuff of spiritual lightweight, but the greatest, most powerful forces in the universe. Our united message of peace can become a massive beacon of divine light. We are together now for just that reason. Let's light the way, shoulder to shoulder, heart to heart, lantern to lantern. We can rise to this. Love is who we are. The affirmation on page 54 of the Science of Mind magazine is: I am the embodiment of peace in my thoughts, words, and actions. I create a better world right where I am. And for our morning meditation, I'm going to move to page 44 of the Science of Mind magazine. Feel free to close your eyes. Be at peace and release stress, anxiety, and worry. Be at peace, allowing each moment to enter without resistance. Be at peace, shoulders soft, heart open, spine aligned with heaven. Be at peace and let the world spin without you. Be at peace and breathe. Just breathe. Be at peace and let go of all attachment to outcomes. Be at peace and know that love always lives right here in this moment. Be at peace and open to divine timing. Be at peace and know you are never alone. Be at peace and call on divine assistance for any task. Be at peace and listen for guidance Be at peace and imagine the highest good for all. Be at peace and make an offering of your day. Be at peace and feel how infinitely loved you are. I am peaceful. I am calm. I am eternal. Divine grace protects me, strengthens me, and guides me. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you so much, Katrina. Just giving that room, taking a moment to let that be the fullness of what it offers. Now, I know some of you are used to hearing special music at this time. Sometimes it's working for me to do special music as really a part of the fabric of the message for the day, and that is today. So I just want to reiterate that our theme for the year is a grand rising. Our theme for this month, Pieces into Peace. And today's topic, Om Shanti, translates from Hindi and Sanskrit into peace be unto thee, actually in body, mind, and soul. And now I want to take a moment to introduce you to our opening song. Can you get the slide for the opening song without starting the song, Brian? Go ahead and put the slide up for a moment. Next. Okay, so when this song starts, you're going to see the symbol for the Om Shanti, or actually the Om. And I wanted to point this out because we're going to use this again next week. And this is not a symbol that we've seen very often. When he starts the song, you'll see it. It's a beautiful gold round disc with a formation to it. And the significance of that is, I'm just now learning, that also has a description very, very much like the Science of Mind teaching symbol. And I never realized that before. So go ahead and start the song, Vernon. And when this first opens, you'll see the symbol very quickly.
Let there be peace in my mind. Let there be peace in the earth. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti.
Om Shanti. Some of you may have noticed on the identifications for that song that it came out of the Parker CSL, where Reverend Rick was the senior minister. And I don't know Laura Berman, but we have Katrina to thank for that version of that song. And so thank you very much, Katrina, for being aware of that from having been a part of Parker at one time. Peace be unto thee. This is a poem that is found at the front of every Science of Mind textbook, and it's one of the most precious pieces of creativity that Ernest Holmes offers us. Peace be unto thee, stranger. Enter and be not afraid. I have left the gate open, and thou art welcome to my home. There is room in my house for all. I have swept the hearth and lighted the fire. The room is warm and cheerful, and you will find comfort and rest within. The table is laid, and the fruits of life are spread before thee. The wine is here also. It sparkles in the light. I have set a chair for you where the sunbeams dance through the shade. Sit and rest. Refresh your soul. Eat of the fruit and drink of the wine. All is yours, and you are welcome. Today's message, Om Shanti, which translates once again to peace be with you, body, mind, and soul, as your natural state of being. This is an extension of what we talked about last week in awakening to oneness. So beginning with a recap from last week, awakening to oneness with our source of being and your personal relationship with spirit is realizing that you are not defined by the circumstances of your life or what you're experiencing. What we're experiencing is what we are growing and evolving through. You, your timeless being, are the timeless qualities of spirit. You are light, life, love, peace, power, beauty, and joy. Ad infinitum, there's many eternal qualities of spirit. These are the 7 that correspond to the 9 fruits of the spirit, as we've talked about in the past few months. But today, we are focusing on how to be at peace amidst our human conditions and circumstances, and how that wellspring of peace extends into our relationships. Now, to revisit our application for this week, just as there cannot be a green forest without green trees, there cannot be a peaceful world without peaceful individuals. So, as ever, it begins with us. So we're going to be engaging peace today from 4 different perspectives. Your relationship with yourself, which is your most immediate connection to spirit, and how it is that this core spirituality is actually the seat of spiritual morality and what that means. And then we're going to look at some actual I'm going to keep this as simple as possible, but we are going to touch in just a little bit into some quantum physics, because there is a place where science meets spirituality and actually does confirm that we are all one at every level. And then we're going to look at some ways to see ourselves everywhere in nature. And then we're going to close with another really, really lovely Shanti meditation. And so, Vernon, if you could start with the next slide, please. Now, some of you may remember this slide. When I first found it, we used it as our You Are Magnificent slide, because there can be no better model for self-love than this slide in my heart. It just touches me every time I see it. For our purposes today, this picture speaks 1,000 words, literally. The spiritual keys in this picture go beyond the pristine self-love. into the universal consciousness, forever reflecting back the forms that are in our consciousness through our relationships and through every experience we have. This image right here, guys, this is actually what we're going for, not only when we see ourselves, but when we see all of the world, because we are one. And when we come to being able to identify and recognize that kind of love and tenderness through everything that we see, and when we're doing that together, then we've got it. So just as a baby is reflecting back itself, everything in our world is a mirror of consciousness and spirit. Imagine for a moment, first, that your practice is to look yourself in the mirror with that kind of closeness and love. How many of you have recently looked in the mirror and reached out to kiss it? I want to challenge you, maybe do that this week. I haven't done it yet either, but it certainly does make me think about it. Now, while you're here in this inner space, imagine if you were to look at everything in your world with that kind of closeness, that if you had the option to, you would just embrace it and just kiss it, looking eye to eye. This is where the teachings of almost every spiritual walk of life point us in this way. Love thy neighbor as thyself, treat people as you would wish to be treated, etc., etc. Our behavior towards others, what we do to other people, and any other being on the planet. This is where it gets really important. This isn't just about other beings, although that's certainly where it could start with humanity today. If we could just get this straight for humanity, that would be awesome, because that would impact every other being on the planet. But it's actually everything. We are literally doing everything we do to others to ourselves, because we are truly all expressions of the one source. When we truly have the experience of that, it is an opportunity to see everyone and everything in the world around us as clearly that reflection of ourselves, as if we're looking at ourselves in the mirror. This is spiritual, universal morality, because of course, any being who knows this at their core is going to do their utmost to do no harm. Now, I realize this is a tall order, but I do believe exactly that this is what human beings are here learning to do as spiritual beings having a human experience. We are all here learning to be both the giver and receiver of this kind of love. And the thing is that we are all equally giving and receiving all the time, in both directions simultaneously. Now, so the next slide, please, Vernon. Okay. So have we got it? Okay, I'm going to give him a minute. So that spirit telling me, okay, let me just take everything that's already been said. Just take a minute. And take a minute to look at this slide. We've used some Venn diagrams before. And never mind that this is the color wheel. It works really well because it's beautiful, but it's not about naming the different colors, except for that's like the diversity that we have, right? So the deal is that each of us is like one of those circles, only universally. Every single expression, every being on the planet has its own little universal circle, okay? And we're all overlapping each other in the ways that we have common experiences and the ways we impact each other. And I mean, this is just, 26 colors or something on the color wheel, but this is the entire universe doing this, okay? And so if we look at this image, every being and every form is like a circle on the slide, and this represents how our giving and receiving and our causes and effects are overlapping each other all the time. Now, each time we look at this, you might be asking, you can go ahead and take the slide down, Vernon. You might be asking, why in the world would spirit do that? Why would the all that is total bliss be moved to emerge from such simplicity into such apparent chaos that we all experience in certain levels and ways across the spectrum? There's relationships that work, and then there's relationships that don't work so well. Well, here's the thing. The glory of God, which is all love and all law, is the fulfillment of the experience of that love. And as we've talked about quite a bit recently, you can't actually fulfill the impulse to love without a receiver. And as soon as you have the need for a receiver, from a universal standpoint, you've got a sense of something, more than one. You've got a sense of at least duality, and spirit's gone and gone limitless with it. There's, limitless forms of creation, limitless forms of distinction. But the fulfillment of that experience is the glory of God, because God can be in potential all there is, but that is nothing if it isn't actually experienced. So every moment has the potential to be this fulfillment. And so I try to remind myself every morning, the glory of God is the fulfillment of love. And this moment right here can be the fulfillment of that love, as we learn to regard ourselves and all creation like that baby looking in the mirror. So next slide again, please. So this is just that reminder. Just imagine. And as you're looking at this, go ahead and leave this up this time, Vernon. I'm going to do a little just reading. In quantum physics, what they have discovered of that this is how creation works, actually where spirituality meets science, is called tangled hierarchy. Now, we know, like if you look at the science of mind symbol, that spirit moves from pure essence through the law, through those lines in the middle, into form, down at that little point in the V, right? Well, in a tangled hierarchy, you would take the science of mind symbol and put it on top of the other one upside down, so that it's going both ways all the time. And that itself, I almost tried to do that. I might try to do that for next week and see how it comes out. But what's going on is that what we know as the creative process is coming and going all the time. And the part that I wanted to read to you says, a tangled hierarchy in quantum physics refers to a complex system where the relationships between particles or particular forms are entangled, so that they're interconnected deeply, and it becomes impossible to clearly define the hierarchical structure, like the coming and going, meaning the parts cannot easily be separated out and understood independently. It leads to such a tangled web of interaction that the whole system must simply be considered as one unit, like the picture of all the circles, which I don't have again, but if you think about it, you can see all those circles, but they're so interwoven, creating the larger circle around it, that it would be like undoing a rat's nest to get that actually undone. And this is the kind of thing that we end up living here on earth, especially when we don't really understand it. So essentially what this is saying is that we are all each other's demonstration. So yes, there's first cause, and first cause is always spirit. But when you get into the form of effects, every form is emergent from pure spirit. So you have pure spirit coming into effect, and we're all affecting each other. So we're all each other's demonstration. So this is true whether the reflection back is a human being or another animal on the planet. Because the essence of spirit and universal consciousness is one, the vast variations in forms of expression and what each expression, which each person or each animal or insect can do, is all about where they're at on the process of evolving in consciousness and what their form is, what they can actually do with it. Okay, so I want to look at some fun examples of how life on this planet has so much more in common than our differences. So I want to introduce to you, we're going to look at a little clip in a minute. And the first I'm going to say about this clip, originally this was like on a TikTok clip, which looks like a phone, and so it's quite a bit tighter in, and when you put it on a slide like we have today, it's extended out, and this goes really quickly. So I had Vernon run it twice, so when he opens this up you're going to see it twice, and I will put the original clip on the weekly update so you can see the form it was originally intended to be in. You're going to see an African elephant and he lives in an African safari park, but he is a wild elephant. And in the background, you're going to hear some of the keepers of the park, but they have not trained him to do this. Okay. This elephant comes up with this thing that he's going to do on his own. And you're going to see a little sign, a little metal sign in this African park. And he comes up and he manipulates this sign. And it's a sign telling guests and visitors where they're supposed to go. And he literally, intentionally turns that sign around. And even though I'm telling you what you're going to see, when you actually see it, it's just going to blow your mind. And you can hear in the background, these people are just cracking up because they just happened to catch him doing it. So go ahead, Vernon.
Oh, he's going to confuse all the tourists. Oh my God, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen. I think he's laughing. I think he's. Oh, he's going to confuse all the tourists. Oh my God, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen. I think he's laughing. I think he's.
And so I just wanted to tell you, juxtaposed to this, because part of what I'm leading up to here is that sometimes we think like human beings have caused ourselves this problem that we have on earth, but actually I'm really learning that all creatures that land themselves on this planet are spiritual beings having a human experience that comes with very interesting challenges, and it depends on what the conditions are that are creating the challenges or not, and then what we're able to do with them. So that elephant is relatively safe and has room to like expand his creativity, like, right, he has time to watch the human beings listening to that sign and then figuring out what he can do to mess with us, right? Okay, now the thing is that there are elephants that live in desert conditions. There's one community of elephants in Africa that actually do not have, except for maybe once or twice a year, like a monsoon season, and they mostly live in the desert. And because they have to focus all the time on survival, their babies don't even play. Most of you probably seen elephants are very intelligent from the moment that they're born, and they're very creative and very playful. But the African elephants that live in the desert where they have the intense challenge, their babies don't play. And if they do play, it's extremely rare, and the adults never play. And the African elephants that live in the desert like that. And so I wanted to tell you one other story I recently saw as I was researching this. I did not realize, but think about a humpback whale for a moment. I did not capture this clip in deference to time, but humpback whales, huge, beautiful animals. And I always thought that an animal born in the ocean, of course, they know how to navigate the ocean, but actually, humpback whale babies do not. I don't know about other whales yet, but when a humpback whale baby is born, they don't have their blubber built up. You know how when the dispersal of water, like when we go swimming, you learn how to float, and a larger person doesn't have as hard of a time floating because of the balance of the water and the weight of that's trying to float. Well, a humpback whale baby, when they're first born, they will sink because they don't have enough blubber to not sink in the water. So not only do their mothers have to buoy them up to breathe the first time, which we've seen with most aquatic animals, but literally she has to stay underneath him while he's growing for the first few weeks, because they literally have to learn to float and they have to learn to swim. And I'm sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, how would it be to be born into a world that you can't even, I mean, I thought that human beings were born not able to do anything for themselves. But so that's just another example. And then the thing is the key is to again realize that our challenges are no measure of our being or our worth. We are called to reach for living from peace inside out while we're working through the external challenges. And I know it's very interesting to think about doing that, but it is absolutely possible to do if we discontinue from referencing whether we should feel peaceful by whatever challenge it is we're facing in the moment. You stay grounded and keep that center of peace and keep learning how to turn there even in the middle of whatever. So, with this in mind, I invite us to share 3 minutes of a lovely Om Shanti meditation. This is an extra, this is pure meditation. And just taking in mind, knowing that all is perfect spiritually and in the human experience, body, mind, and soul. It is all part of the plan. And go ahead, Vernon. Now I have a quote out of a book that was referred to me by our own Mark Bobrow. And this book is simply titled One, and it was written by, I believe, a collective consciousness named Rasha. And I am not familiar with this, but it really spoke to what we're talking about right here. So I decided to go with it. It is all part of the plan. You walked into this experience of a lifetime with your eyes wide open, and you did so for the chance that you might emerge from this experience also with your eyes wide open. You did so for the chance that you might taste your own divinity in the exalted and physical presence, despite every conceivable obstacle you could think of to place in your own way. For to objectively transcend the limitations of your humanness and to experience that state through the senses of a physical state of being, meaning that it is absolutely possible to completely know our spiritual unity and have this physical experience, recognizing, yeah, it's going to be a heck of a roller coaster ride, like the yin yang, that roller coaster in black and white all the time. This is who you are. This is the hero that lives at the heart of all you would fault and criticize yourself for. It is a blessing to be a being of light who ventured forth in this lifetime in uncharted territory on the chance that the map might be drawn to the source within. This is the one who often thinks that this journey is some sort of race against time, when the truth is there is no time period, and surely there is actually no race to win, where the experience is not one to be hurried, but rather to be savored. We wanted to be here, y'all, just like we want to get back to that sense of nirvana. Absolutely, we do. We get drawn back there. But after we're there, we get drawn back here for exactly that kind of reason. And so, with all of that in mind, from wherever this is taking you right now, let us go into affirmative prayer, which we know as spiritual mind treatment. Take a breath, create your own space, while at the same time knowing you are in a community of multiplicity. And breathe. Opening to the knowing that we recognize one life, one love, one source of all that is eternal and everlasting. And as that one is all, necessarily, that one is all I am. That one is all of each being within the sound of my voice. Every cell of being and every aspect of life, one and only one. And from this alignment in mind, heart, and soul, I realize right here and right now that this is a glorious moment. That the glory of God is the fulfillment of love, and that fulfillment is right here and right now at the level of the highest and best within each person taking part in this emergence right now. And for this knowing and for this collective experience of it, I am so grateful and so full of joy. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God. I release it, I let it be, and so it is.
So for today's prosperity affirmation, my prosperity multiplies as all the puzzle pieces of my life fall into place. So Thank you all for sharing your time, talents, and treasures with the Lowville Center for Spiritual Living. As you can see in the chat, there are multiple ways to financially contribute to the center. And so you can find that, or you can mail a check in, and the address is P.O. Box 43958, Louisville, Kentucky 40253. And I go ahead and I pass my blessing to Vicky.
And actually, y'all should know that Vernon has, in fact, been the blesser of the basket, because I got so caught up in Katrina's blessing that Vernon was like, basket, basket. And so, absolutely, it is significant to have this basket present, and it is our fulcrum of that process of circulation, that as the word is spoken, as the love goes around, it moves through this basket that is multiplied tenfold by spirit, goes back out into the world to bless those we know and those we have not yet met, and comes back to us. So thank you, thank you, thank you for all that you're able to give. Thank you for understanding that we are both a business and a spiritual experience. We are. Louisville Center for Spiritual Living is a spiritual being having a human experience, and we have to support these structures. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
And our announcements. So next week's speaker is Reverend Vicky Jeter, and she will be talking about pieces into peace, putting it all together. So looking forward to seeing you then. Oh, I am so excited. Our next class is mental equivalence, and Vicky will be teaching the class and I'll be assisting with the class. It runs from Tuesday, October 8th to November 12th, and it's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's via Zoom. The cost is $140 plus one book, and I've already got my book. I'm so excited to be with all of you.
And thank you, Katrina. I want to just add a little bit more to this announcement as we get closer to the class. Katrina and I are previewing to get ready to support you in taking this class. And they have done a really good job with the weeks that they're putting into this. We start out looking at, okay, like, where am I now in my mental equivalence? And then they have a week on, okay, what are my resistances? And then they have another week on what am I good at? And then they have a week on understanding what that all looks like in the world, kind of like what we just talked about here. I was very impressed with what they have and the content for the classes, and I just want to tell you guys that, because I know it's like just that term mental equivalence. Well, that doesn't really sound like a whole lot of fun, but we're going to be using lots of examples from people's lives, and it's awesome. So thank you.
And Centers for Spiritual Living National is actually sharing a free book study. So it's open to all. And if you have any questions on how to register for this, please talk to Reverend Vicky. It is not on our Louisville Center for Spiritual Living Zoom link. It's on one that's provided by National. So please make sure that any information you need, you get from Reverend Vicky to support you in signing up for this book study. Volunteer opportunities. One of the blessings in my life is that I've had the opportunity to show up and be a part of the center as a volunteer in many different ways. And we have some opportunities for other people to share their gifts and talents. So please consider, if you are creative or have creative technological skills and would like to create a computer-aided design for a flyer that talks about who we are and what we have to offer that can be passed out at a booth or an event, please let Reverend Vicky or Vernon know, so that we can get other people's creative juices creating wonderful ways of outreach. And we're looking for 2 new board members. take a look at all of these incredible people, and you would get the opportunity to spend time with them. Each one of them are so magnificent and delightful to be around. So if you're interested in becoming a board member for the Louisville Center, please reach out to Vicky, and your face could be on this slide too. Louisville Center for Spiritual Living is expanding in their committed giving plan. And so stay tuned for a small survey that will be sent out via email, but having a awareness of what funds the center can expect coming into 2025 will enable us to make the best financial decisions for the financial health of the center. So if you have any questions about this, please contact Vicky. And you're welcome to stay for sharing time after the benediction. I'm also available for prayer requests, so please stay if you're interested. And of course, you are absolutely magnificent. And our closing song is Let There Be Peace on Earth, and it's from the Voices of Hope Children's Choir.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our Father, we are family. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, may this feed my soul aloud. To take each moment and live each moment with peace with me.
Now I invite you to our closing benediction. If you would like to say this for yourself or just listen is fine. I just think speaking the word is very powerful. May the light shine upon you to illuminate your way. May you stand on a mountaintop and see a brighter day. May all the separate pieces of your world become one whole. May spirit hold you safe in love, mind, body, and soul. May you flow like the river as we kneel upon your shore. May you bend like the tallest tree in the winter storm. May you fly on wings of freedom in peace forevermore. May spirit hold you safe in love, mind, body, and soul. May you always love with everything and know everything is love. May you never cry for what can't be. In your hand is just enough. May you shine the light that shines on you and teach us what you know. May spirit hold you safe in love, mind, body, and soul.